Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WarThunder with the Real Crisis. And this is the second episode of my Facts and Thoughts series about WarThunder Ground Forces. As I've mentioned in my channel intro, there might or might not be the question among you why I play WarThunder and not World of Tanks. And I'd like to address that issue anyway, so let's get on with it, shall we? I've actually played World of Tanks for quite a while before I got into WarThunder Ground Forces. I got to tier 4 in the German tech tree with the medium tanks as well as the tank destroyers and the artillery. The main reason as to why I switched was simply that I did not enjoy it that much. I've had days and days of matches where I got one-shotted in the first 2 minutes of a match and ended up not making any real experience and was therefore not able to climb up the tiers as fast as I would have liked. I realized that was mostly because of my lack of experience with tank combat at the time, as well as my lack of skill. But it is also well known that tier 4 is pretty much where the player base of World of Tanks divides. With tier 4 tanks, you'll see tier 5 and 6 vehicles, which are more than capable of one-shotting every tier 4 tank available. All the veteran players know this, of course, and so they pick a good tier 5 and just go seal clubbing at tier 4, which gets very frustrating if you're just trying to get to some of the better or more famous tanks down the line. WarThunder Ground Forces, on the other hand, has some pretty different game mechanics, which make for a much different experience than in World of Tanks. For example, in WarThunder, you enter a match with several of your vehicles, except for only one in World of Tanks. So if you're getting killed early on, you can still stay in the game, earn XP and rewards, and you also have the option to play a different type of vehicle, therefore changing your playstyle all in the same match. All that makes WarThunder a much more enjoyable and in fact even more rewarding experience for me than World of Tanks. Also, you're gathering research points with all of your current tanks for one vehicle, which does not have to be from the same path in the tech tree as any of your other tanks, which makes it a lot easier for collectors like me to get the vehicles they're interested in. If you want to collect tanks in World of Tanks, you really have to buy premium time and gold to use free experience and get faster through the tiers, which is simply not appealing to me, at least not in that game. Lastly, let's not forget that if you're getting bored with tanks in WarThunder, you can always take off over a plane, which was the original play mode, and is still the strongest part of the game. Currently, I haven't decided if I will be playing planes on the stream, but I'd really like to do it at some point, so just keep an eye on it if you're interested. So I've bashed World of Tanks for all the issues I have with it and praised WarThunder for its better mechanics. But to be fair, WarThunder also has its issues, and just to give you a full picture, I want to talk about them as well. Now, there are some issues which are widely known and have been discussed in depth over and over by other YouTubers and game critics alike, and I have experienced some of these issues myself, while others either didn't bother me or simply did not encounter them while playing. That said, some of the bigger issues have even been patched out as well, like the reduced cover in lower graphics modes, which is nice to see. Still, there's one thing that does bother me, and in fact I have recently mostly abandoned the game due to that. What I mean is the not really optimal in-game economy. In World of Tanks, unless you use premium ammunition, you will almost always make a profit out of your games in terms of credits. In WarThunder, it can and will happen that you lose credits if all of your vehicles get destroyed and you didn't get enough hits, kills and rewards throughout the match. It did not occur to me until pretty high up in the tiers, since you get free repairs on each tank and a lot of other bonuses which really help in that regard. But as soon as you get to the higher tiers, where you need a lot more experience to unlock other vehicles, you'll play a lot more matches in the vehicles you have, and therefore the limited free repairs will fade away eventually. And at that point, you have to do good in every match, simply not to lose credits that you need to buy new tanks, upgrades, and other things in-game. Needless to say, that can get frustrating very fast when you have a bad day and don't get good matchmaking, which is one of the bigger issues with WarThunder, but also with World of Tanks as well. Now that I have the pros and cons about WarThunder out of the way, let's finish this with some actual recommendations about the game itself. I have played every nation available up to around tier 3, as you can see, and I really enjoyed them all. However, I want to mention some differences between them. The German tanks start off pretty good in my opinion, especially the Panzer II, with the 20mm autocannon, which is the most effective at tier 1 and low battle ratings, where the armor of the tanks can be penetrated easily even with low caliber guns. In that department, the Russian and American tanks don't really hold up, because the American tanks have lower caliber guns, which not always do that much damage, and the T-60 of the Russians simply has a too slow reload time. Speaking of the Russian tanks, if you want to get the T-34 or the badass heavies like the KV-2 or the IS series, prepare yourself for a very frustrating time at first. The reason for that is that the reserve and battle rating 1 Russian tanks are simply garbage. They have good guns, and the BT series consists of the fastest low-tier tanks in the game, but that's it. They have paper for armor, and if you get hit, it's almost 100% sure that your whole crew gets knocked out instantly, so you're pretty much a one-shot kill for everyone. As I've said, the BT series at least has its blisteringly high speed going for it, but the T-26, for example, doesn't even have that. In fact, it's slow as hell. So if you play the Russians, just be aware that it can get very frustrating from the start on. Just a few words about the American tanks. I think they are very much fun to play, although being not exactly top of the line in all aspects, but they definitely have a lot of things going on for them. So that's it for this episode of Facts and Thoughts. Please feel free to tell me what you think about it in the comments below, and hit that like or dislike button depending on how you feel about it. And if you liked it, watch out for my upcoming uploads, and of course visit my Twitch channel to see some real gameplay of my featured games. I'll see you guys on the battlefield, so take care and until next time.